Book of chapter. Baruch chapter 2, verse 16. O Lord, look down from the holy house and consider us. Bow down thy ears, O Lord, to hear us. Open thy eyes and behold, for the dead that are in the graves, whose souls are taken from their bodies, will give unto the Lord neither praise nor righteousness. But the souls that is greatly vexed, which go stooping and feeble, and the eyes that fail, and the hungry souls will give thee praise and righteousness, O Lord. Verse 19. Therefore we do not make our humble supplication before thee, O Lord, our God, for the righteousness of our fathers and of our kings. For thou hast sent out thy wrath and indignation upon us, as thou hast spoken by thy servant the prophet, saying, Thus saith the Lord, bow down your shoulders to serve the kings of Babylon. So shall ye remain in the land that I give unto your fathers. But if ye will not hear the voice of the Lord to serve the king of Babylon, I will cause to cease out of the cities of Judah and from without Jerusalem the voice of mirth and the voice of joy, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, and the whole land shall be desolate of inhabitants. I'll read that part again. And the whole land shall be desolate of inhabitants. But we would not hearken unto thy voice, serve the king of Babylon. Therefore hast thou made good the words thou spakest by the servant, the prophet, namely, that the bones of our king and the bones of our father to be taken out of their place.
Now watch this. Now watch this. The bones of our kings and the bones of our fathers taken out of their place. Watch this.
Today we are a marginalized minority group, one of the smallest ethnic group in Namibia, and it's because of the genocide.
I bow down in the greatest sadness. I cannot undo the terrible wrongs our ancestors caused, but I beg you, from the bottom of my heart, to accept my apologies.
See, they ain't want to pay no reparations though. They said we'll give you your bones back. We'll give you the bones that we stole, but we don't want to pay no. Yeah, you ain't gonna give you. We ain't giving you nothing though. Although we acknowledging it, and we gonna give you the bones back, right? That's crazy, man.
But that lets you know, like the scriptures say, the Most High scattered us across the four corners of the earth. Because what's going on across the four corners of the earth? All of us is asking for reparation. The same people.
Hey, for real, the same people, man.
The same
all over the world, man. And to the point where, you know, some people in their own lands, they talking about get out. They trying to tell these people to get out. They don't want to leave. And they talking about, you know, we gonna bully you. We gonna fight you because we don't want to leave your land. It's crazy. They talking about giving the bones. They done dug up bones, and they talking about they wanted for white superiority. Nah, they was testing them bones. They wanted to understand. They wanted to know who we were.
Right.
They know who we are. And I'm sorry, my people all throughout the earth, you ain't getting no reparation.
None.
That ain't gonna happen. Because if they give you reparations, it will be nothing left to give. They won't have nothing. Because then that will start a chain reaction. All other nations will begin to have to pay reparations to you as well.
Yep.
Hey, bro, read that 25th verse real quick.
Give reparation. Get some of this watermelon juice, though.
No, you ain't got to read the 25th. Don't read that yet. Don't read that yet. I'm gonna come back to that. Let me play this next
Man muss auch sehen, dass man auch diese Menschen zum Beispiel,
Some of them would chop off the prisoners' heads
die Häftlinge die Köpfe abgeschnitten haben und die
and then throw the rest of their bodies in the water to feed the sharks.
Haifische gefuttert haben und so weiter, ja. Und das ist,
When I think about this history, it makes me sad
Geschichte fantasiere,
and bitter.
bin ich eigentlich traurig und sauer.
Israel Konarchika is the only Herero activist in Germany. 100 years since the end of German colonialism, the 71-year-old Namibian is calling for the German government to take responsibility.
Wir haben nur 3 Punkte.
We're just demanding 3 things: an apology,
Hey, it's funny
recognition
his
of
name
genocide,
Israel,
and
right?
reparations.
Ain't that funny? His name Israel. He come from the Herero tribe. If you're familiar with the Herero tribe down in Namibia, which is like, Namibia is like northwest of South Africa. Just the country just northwest of South Africa, Namibia. All right. If you're familiar, you will understand that these are Bantu people. All right. Now, the other people that they name in the Nama people, those are the San people. All right. But this here, Herero. Look at that man. If you seen this old man chilling in Babylon in America, would you think that he was from Namibia, Africa?
Man,
You
he
wouldn't
look
think
like my
so.
granddad.
Exactly. Until he opened his mouth, then you'd be like, man, you wouldn't think that. But let's finish hearing what he got to say.
Demanding 3 things: an apology, recognition of
Forget
genocide,
about it.
and reparations. If you break something, you have to fix it.
Was reparieren, wenn man irgendwas kaputt gemacht hat.
It was here in Berlin that the fate of Africa was decided at the 1885 Berlin Conference. The continent was sliced up and divided among European powers. Prior to World War I, Germany had colonies around the world. After losing the war, German overseas land was then redistributed and later decolonized. Millions were affected by the brutality and greed of German colonialism. An attempt to exterminate the Herero people in German Southwest Africa, today in Namibia,
You saw how
resulted
they
in the
got them
murder of
hanging?
at least
Just
80,000
like they did us in
people.
America. No different.
Same
And
thing.
our people got to understand, man, we suffered the same atrocities all over the world. All over the world, we suffered the same atrocities. And this is, now we reaching out to our brothers on the African continent. We trying to let y'all know, y'all are brothers, man. You are not whatever African tribe they call you. That's a byword. That's like them calling us African Americans or Negroes or Afro Americans. It's the same thing. All right. Africa was divided. The borders of Africa was divided by the colonizers. All right. You didn't have borders like you have them today until the colonizers came. You wasn't calling yourself a Namibian. You wasn't calling yourself a Nigerian. You wasn't calling yourself Mozambican, Zimbabwean. You weren't calling yourself these things. All right? The colonizer caused that division. That's what they showing you in this video here. Y'all got to understand that we the same people. We suffered the same atrocities. The Bible is talking about us. We're Israel, and you got the brother here named Israel, Mr. Israel. What a coincidence.
Out of fears of costly reparations, German Parliament has never officially recognised the murders as genocide. But the government has promised a thorough assessment of the country's colonial history. Günter Nucker, Germany's Commissioner to Africa, is involved in the process.
We are, of course, holding reconciliation talks with Namibia right now. We're trying to formulate what happened 100 years ago or more, so that we, as Europeans, can apologize for the terrible things there and take responsibility. But also so that this is accepted by the African side, so that our future is not because we talk about the past, but what we can do together now.
But for Israel, talks excluding Herero and Nama people count for nothing. Some activists have gone as far as filing a lawsuit in New York against the German government, calling for their participation. The return, however, of some 20 Herero and Nama human remains at a ceremony in Berlin's French church is being regarded as at least a step in the right direction.
Why do they want to hold our bones in a French church? Why would they want to hold the bones of our people in a French church? Man, that's weird. That's man, bro. Man, that's weird. that's weird, bro.
I think this is positive. What isn't good is that it's taking place in a church. Why not in Parliament? And then recognize the genocide at the same time.
Like many Herero and Nama activists, Israel wants all plundered artwork and human remains to be returned to their home country. The German government, however, favours more provenance research by museums. But Israel isn't about to give up. Like most of his fellow activists, his campaign for Germany to recognise the murders of Herero and Nama people as genocide is a personal one.
I also have German ancestors.
So let's end that. Read the 24th verse, 4th verse one more time, just in case people missed that verse and why we went to these videos. Can you read that one more time?
Baruch 2:24. But we would not hearken unto thy voice, to serve the king of Babylon, Therefore hast thou made good the words that thou spakest by thy servant the prophets, namely, that the bones of our kings and the bones of our fathers should be taken out of their places.
That grave robbers, there will be grave robbers that will come and take the bones of our forefathers out of their places and move them to another place. We begging for remains. Give us our remains back. And it ain't no telling how many, because we was over here in America, just destroyed and destitute and lacking of everything. Ain't no telling how many of our people's remains they taken. We looking at this lady, what her family just won a lawsuit, Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks, the lady who they took some of her DNA and begin to start working and using it for cancer research without consulting the family. So it ain't like they ain't doing it to us over in America as well. Right? All the experiments and things that they was doing on our people in slavery, you have no idea. You have no idea.